What's good, YouTube? And welcome to the house. I've been saying that Konami definitely needs a huge shift for special editions because in unlimited packs, you cannot pull a prismatic secret rare, giving almost no value to a special edition outside its promos. So promos need to be mind-blowingly insane, and Konami is importing Link Frames pack promos within the special editions now. This is actually a really great move. I'm a fan of getting these, faster as long as we're not getting our own Link Frames pack set, which I really would like. But we see that they brought in Scrap Weaver and a probably the most anticipated card besides Needle Fiber lately, Great General of the Six Samurai. And with that, the market's gone just a little bit crazy. But I actually do want to give kudos to Konami realizing the problem. They probably felt it in their wallet, right? They're like, oh man, Rising Rampage Special Edition is just completely tanked. We better do something. It seems that they really did feel that in the pocket. So let's look. Legendary Six Samurai Shiin Ultimate Rare. You want a Near Mint Unlimited, you're paying around 20. You want a First Edition, you're paying around 60 right now because it's bought out to that point. Really insane. I think it'll float back down a little bit. They're not going to flood back onto the market. So where this actually will rest will be truly very interesting, as Six Samurai are one of the most polarizing and fan favorite archetypes. I kind of like them too. So we look at Gateway and a little bit of history, boys. Stardust Overdrive had foiling problems. You could pack open cards, and the holos would have edgeware straight out of the pack, and Gateway of the Six was definitely one of those cards that had that issue. So finding truly near mint versions are actually much less on market, and we see the lowest being at one at 16, a couple at 18, and then they're non-existent. So to find truly near mint is very, very difficult, but there's a new super rare version of it out there as well. So unless you really have to have that first ed original near mint and piece of history, you can get yourself a super rare relatively quick. Let me make sure I'm not making that up. I'm almost positive that it got a reprint in super rare in the in Spirit Warriors. We have a super rare variant that you can just get very, very cheap for yourself. But I would get them sooner than later, as a lot of people are going to anticipate Konami to make the move towards the ban list, just like the OCG did. And a lot of the ban lists have been heading that way with Construct and Shirt and playing catch-up. So in order to sell some special editions, they may do something with the next FNL list, just saying. We also look around, and Fuma is baby bumping up here. It's towards $10 when it was resting around 8. For a long time, I've called that this would eventually be on top of this set. The magical muskets, they're short printed, sure. They're not always going to be on top. I felt like this would break in at some point, and I'm expecting Fuma to be towards $15 at some point. I would also be grabbing Kizaru and not sleeping on Hatsume. Certain versions of this deck do play all of them, and to watch the combos are really insane and fun. Next up, let's talk about what happened with the TCG player sale. It was one of the biggest sales ever. Looking at my analytics, the most you guys have used my link in the description down below in one day ever. Thank you guys so much. Be sure to be using that to support the channel directly, costing you nothing extra besides the cards you'd already be buying. That being said, the cheaper special editions of Dark Neostorm did disappear. We see Signet Mining alarmingly rising almost towards $50. Then Gearsu almost to $30. Avermax has been hyped because of IP Masquerena. And then we see No Material also on the rise, which was available at $18 at one point. Dark Neostorm just as a whole going up, but I expected a lot of people went for sealed Dark Neostorm during the sale, especially the special editions that disappeared. And to note, Signet Mining is an overprint in the set thanks to short printing. So we're in a weird position where people want 3 of the secret, yet it's more available, so it still reigns on top. But luckily, it's not just out of control short printed, and people can actually go and get this still out of their sealed product. You actually have a decent chance at it along with other cards. Now, Dengirsu was grossly shorted. Avermax was also overprinted, so interesting to see how the top of the set has really shaped up. People went after Phantasme, giving even more shock to this sticker price, 105 now. I can't believe it. Gizmak Orochi has headed towards $20. It's actually pretty standard for this card. It's fluctuated between 15 to 20 ever since its initial buyout from the $8 mark. I personally will be hunting a set for myself at some point. I'm going to be one of those terrible duelists playing Grin Maju in real life. If you've been following the live streams, I've been playing a Machina version with Grin Maju. Since there's Machina Orcust, I've actually kind of shifted, and I'm like, you can actually pitch with the dangers, the Machina Fortress. I digress. Just saying, there's a lot of really bad decks along with the good decks that can use Gizmek or Orochi, and he gives a lot of stability to those. The Gizmeks in general, slowly getting a card each. I don't think anything's going to tie the archetype together, but they are freaking insane, and I would be still looking for this card even around this price point. I think it will fall down a little bit more. It's $1 cheaper over on eBay for a copy, though, before it quickly matches and then even rises past. So this isn't just because of the TCG player sale. It's really resting around this price point. Blackluster Soldier of Chaos still hugging near that $70 mark. My advice for this, as always, is look around for a sale. Look around for somebody that's a motivated seller trying to make a deal. Brand new condition, out of Florida, $60. He's willing to take a little bit less to make that sell now, and people who are done with their deck for the season are going to continue to do this. This card's at a really high price for what it is, but it is locked behind Battles of Legend, where there's not much other high value cards to be opening these packs for, although there's some very good underestimated cards, in my opinion, within the set that people should probably be getting 3 of just to keep and have in case they do spike over time. Dengirsu, like I was talking about, this is an interesting point. It is very much nearing its ultimate rare pricing. So in order to protect your investment, I almost want to say the ultimate rare is where I would be looking at. It's baby bumped up also, and you see just an insane amount from Gen X Gaming here, 31 freaking copies. But I do think that we're nearing that point where it starts to look like, well, for just a little bit more, I can upgrade to Ultimate Rare. The Ultimate Rare is less likely to fall in the event that something happens. And Dengirsu, as a generic 8 with certain cards, will fit into other decks even, like my terrible Grin Maju deck, than just Orcust. So this is something I would want to have access to at least one of. And again, horrendously shorted here. Not going to be many copies here, despite one seller having a ton somehow. I would probably consider the ultimate rare at this point in time. Looking through Chaos Impact, what is the outfall from Sneak Peek Weekend and the sale finally going all the way to its full release on the market? Well, this prismatic fell real bad. Sorry if you paid $300. I even said I would personally be trying to sell it at $250 early, and we see it already down to $225. I expect it to be $200. I think people trying to pay $400 for a playset is where they're going to try to aim for it. At $250, it would be $500. And people are going to want it in 2s that do choose to actually play it. But it looks real nice as a prismatic. The other one's actually... so this is better in a sense than the first prismatics where you have Dragonstorm that nobody wants. People are actually after the Evil Eye Prisma, and it's hanging in there with Unchained Twins. And then IP Masquerena kind of holding near that Apollosa price point. I think we'll see it have a chance at $350. Actually, I've seen these for sale as a prismatic over in the OCG for $200. So the fact that it's over double the price here is kind of insane, but I think they actually get prismatics a little easier in their packs. So it's kind of understandable, but I think this will kind of copy Apollosa's pricing while the rest of these fall and settle out. Now, there's actually a reason to buy this special edition. Kind of insane. Looking through Chaos Impact, though, Abomination Prison is up. I've watched so many case openings from Yu-Gi-Oh! Black Market on Facebook, doing more live openings to other vendors in my comment section down below, posting only getting 1 to 2 per case. One Up TCG hit me up showing several cases, and 3 cases, he only got 1 each. It was so sad. And we see here, the market is reflecting this. This is a search card, kind of like Cynet Mining, but not as generic. It's locked in its archetype, so it won't be as sought after, probably, but people wanting to build this archetype are stuck to trying to get this card, and boy, did that escalate quickly. Blue Tang down towards 30, where Tier 0 called that it would fall. Good job, Tier 0. Masquerena towards 28. I did say that I thought 32 was a bit high, but then after reading, I'm like, wait, this is probably the most meta-relevant card within this entire set. Yeah, so we have it towards 28. That I think it'll be resting either at 25 or headed towards 30. There won't be much fluctuation from here immediately, I would think, but it is shorter within the set. And Seifert, This is an interesting card, still hanging in at 28. People really just like, it's one of those cards that people like how generically good it is, but those tend to go down over time, in my opinion. I think it has a lot of potential, but I don't know that that justifies the price point. That's my reflection after thinking on it through the weekend. Pyro Phoenix is the regular version down towards 18. Striker Dragon still at its 16 mark. So a lot of what we saw yesterday, playsets at around $30 for the Unchained stuff. You're going to be able to get the rest of the deck relatively cheap besides your search card. And falling down towards 5, like I thought, is Firewall Dragon Dark Fluid. I don't think too many people are going to be playing it, but I think casuals will want to have that as a card just have access to. And thanks to that, rest of the set, as normal, relatively cheap because of the bad pull value out of this, thanks to short printing and everything else. You can get a lot of this. People were saying the Gladiator Beast stuff was going quote-unquote up, but it looks pretty solid to me. Oh, maybe they mean other stuff. I should probably look that up later next Market Watch. Or you guys can do your homework right now and start looking it up. They totally meant other stuff. I'm realizing it right now. A little bit of suggestions here on Market Watch. I like to do suggestions once in a while here. Danger Ogopogo was towards $4 during the Grin Maju hype. It's down towards $3. It's something that I would consider getting sooner than later. Well, actually only one copy at $3. The rest disappeared that were up last night. Interesting. But still towards $4. This is one of the only unreprinted Dangers. It is a level 8 if anything happens to them on the FNL list. A lot of people will be grabbing this even further. I would definitely want access to this sooner than later. We look at number 60. I feel like this is highly underestimated. Towards $1. Have your copy of this. Maybe a couple extra to trade. There is no reason you shouldn't have this card both to set aside for yourself and in your binder. Like, at this price point, anything that gives you immediate advantage for skipping something during the next turn, you're trying to kill them right now. The only reason you mess up with this card is if you mess up within your gameplay or you run into a hand trap you didn't see coming. And we look at generically good cards in the past for Battles of Legend. I told you guys to grab as many of this at $1 a piece as you could. That cards like Dark World Dealings and Allure and Into the Void, once reprinted, will just go up over time. And I believe Sutff plays this in several of his Pendulum variants, and I've been seeing it on Dueling Book a lot more too. Into the Void towards $9 freaking. It's crazy. Over on eBay a little bit cheaper, but quickly does match. Man, things really do escalate over time. It's been a couple of years since the first Battles of Legend. Does it feel like it? You know, we're on our 3rd variant of it, and past this, it's one of the cards that aged the best out of there, from $1 to $9. You really got into stonks if you listened to me there. So this is another card, and while I don't see it as generically good as a rank 4, that's about as good as it gets for an Xyz, and as a powerful combo piece for certain people that I've actually watched it do more than I thought it would, I'd have your copies. You'll look back in a couple of years, and if it's not reprinted, which a lot of Battles of Legend original cards aren't reprinted, looking at you, you good old dinosaur cards, I would definitely want my copies of this. Thank you so much for watching today's Market Watch. How do you like this mix of suggestions and cram-packed full of cards in a faster pace? I know you guys typically like that. And again, you have your final chance today to enter that giveaway for my polls, which were insane, which you can click here in a video. Definitely get yourself a chance at those cards. You just go to the video to find out how. Thanks for watching, everybody.